Guys, I want to say, you guys really make me feel really good when I can get on here and, you know, just in my own little zone. Like, I don't know, when I do my videos, a lot of times I don't go out of my way to try to be perfect with my speech impediment or the clothes I'm wearing or whatever. I'm just in the zone, and that's the zone that I'm working in. And I come on here and I express myself to y'all, and y'all allow me to be, myself. So it's like, come on in, come on in. Sometimes I'll be loading videos and I'll be like, oh my gosh, like I realize I don't be looking the best, but it's like, I'm not on here trying to be a beauty queen. I'm on here to showcase my craft, and I appreciate you guys allowing me to express myself, and today to get on here and show y'all what I'm working on, the things that I'm working with, what I'm doing. And I'd be very grateful that y'all allow me to do that. So the fabric store. So when you're going to get your fabric, I would say, well, I kind of messed up with this dress. I kind of didn't know what I needed. So when I went, I got the fabric, and I kind of didn't know how many yards it take to do the dress that I was thinking about making. So when I made it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this many amount of yards. So that's why it's very good to know the amount of fabric that you're going to need. Because a lot of times you might see this beautiful fabric in the fabric store, and then you go back looking for it and they don't have it anymore. It don't exist. It's gone. And you'll be like, oh, wow. And especially if it's a pattern like this, like if you wind up getting like an all black dress, you probably can possibly mix and match, okay? You probably can mix and match and add another black fabric to make it look, okay. But with this particular fabric, you cannot do that. You got to have the exact print, okay? So when I went back seeking this fabric, realized that they don't have it anymore. They only had like about 2 yards. So instead of me getting the 12 panels that we talked about, remember we talked about this dress, and to get the volume that I need, we wanted to go with 12 panels. They didn't have enough for 12. They only had enough for me to get 4 more panels. So I'm only able to do 10. 2 off from my goal. So when you're making your stuff, know exactly how much fabric you need. Do your measurements precise. And more is better, especially when you're dealing with spandex fabric. And if you got an idea in your head, you're like, oh, wow, I want to do it like this or like that. You got to make sure that you have enough. So I wind up, they didn't have any more. So we're not going to get, we're not going to get the 12 that we wanted. Okay. We're not going to get that. We're going to wind up getting 10. Okay. We got enough for 10. So it's going to be a lot of volume. So also with the crittling, so when you get the crittling and the boning and all that, because with these wide dresses, to get it to flare like that, they use crittling, they use boning. So I would say if this was going to be one of those panel wedding dresses, I would go way out and do all of that. This dress is not going to be like the wedding dress. So I'm not going to put the boning at the bottom and stuff like that. I think I might have enough horsehair But also the great thing that's going to work with this fabric is a thick fabric. So I'm going to get volumes anyway from the fabric itself being as thick as it is. And I didn't know that you guys appreciate longer videos. So thank you guys for allowing me to come along and in my learning process. And as I'm learning and I'm doing all these things, and you know that we're able to do a lot of this stuff together, I am so proud of being able to do that. Like, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for when I'm going through problems, that y'all are allowing me to express my problems. Thank y'all for giving me your positive feedback. And, you know, when I'm wrong, I can take constructive criticism as well. And I like when y'all just, you know, like, y'all input, like, hey, this probably look better like this, or this will probably look better like that. I don't mind any of that. I really don't. I really don't mind any of that. So I am like delighted and grateful that you guys are talking to me and allowing me to express myself, showcase my craft. I was in a fabric store and there's a lady in there. And when she saw me getting this fabric, she said, what are you going to make with that? And I said, oh, are you just learning? And I was like, well, actually, I've been sewing now about 10 years. But I said, I finally then put my undivided attention on something. Because you can be probably learning to do something, but if you don't put your undivided attention, you can kind of be all over the place. Okay? All right. Okay. All right. So, right now, we have 10 panels now. We have 10 panels. So, what I'm going to do, this is going to be a little challenge, okay? This is going to be a challenge because I never worked with this many. And now we got to get this to, we got to gather this to fit this. So now we got these 10 panels. Wonder if I got enough room. I might have to put the camera back. So what I'm going to do first is, y'all see we got 10 panels. So what I'm going to do first is find the back of this dress. And we want to leave that zipper allowance. So when we put that zipper in, so I'm going to take a safety pin and we're going to make sure that I leave a nice amount for the zipper, because you got to do that fold over because of raw edge and stuff like that. Okay, so that's for that zipper. Okay, so now that we know we got the seam allowance for the zipper, we're going to, now y'all work with me on this. I've never gathered this much fabric. So this is a challenge within itself for me. So this might go a couple times. We working together. So with the zipper, give yourself about, so we put that zipper in. Do about 2 inches for the zipper. Because you got to put that zipper in. You got to put, you know. So then I'm starting to do the pleats. And this fabric is getting heavier. So we're just troubleshooting together. Work with me. Work with me. Okay. So I don't know how many we're going to be able to get with the 10 panels. And once we get everything set in the way that it needs to be, you know, this fabric has to be pressed and ironed. And I'm using my low volume phone because the main phone is on the charger. The main phone is on the charger. So this video might be a little grainy. Okay, so y'all forgive me for that. But y'all see, like when we do these panels, every channel itself is within a panel. So every channel within itself is in a panel. Okay. So that's what gives you these nice volumes. So we'll see how many times we'll be able to get it to go around. And then once we get it, we're like, okay, we got that many channels. And so I truly appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for allowing me to come on here and we can do these little projects together. Like I said, I've never did this. So as we doing this, we doing it together. So, but to make these channels stand out like really, really big, like say if you was making a wedding dress, when you put these panels together, what you would do in a wedding dress, as you sew like each one of these panels, and these panels is connected to this dress, you will put boning in there. Boning goes in each channel. So yeah. And of course, you know, the corset will go on top. So okay, so kind of just, let me move this back so y'all can see a little bit better. Okay. Let me hope this can hold it. Will it hold it? Okay. So kind of just, you know, these is all these different panels. And then you will find how you want these panels to be pinned in here. And you do your panels and you do it to the way that you would like it. And then to make it even with more volume, you would take these panels and you'll iron interfacing and stuff on it. So you'll make it way more bigger than this. So when I tell you it'll get bigger, you put the boning. So like right now how I got it like this, what you would do is you will put in each channel going across. So you say, so we'll say we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and not up here. So we probably do 4 down at the bottom. So what we'll be doing is making these channels down here with the boning and the interfacing, and we ironing them into a channel, and we widen the bottom of this dress out. And the crinoline will make it as well. Okay? So y'all see that? So finding the best pleats that will work for you. You find the best pleats that will work for you, and you channel it. You put all your boning. If you wanted it to be stiff, 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 you put your interfacing in each one of these channels. So if you got, we have a total of 10. And remember, you take the 10 right? So if your waist, and when you do each panel, so if my waist is 26 inches, you'll take this 26 inches of your waist, right? And you'll add your seam allowance into each seam that you're going to put back. So my waist is 26 inches. I wind up cutting these panels where there'll be like 35. So I'm doubling it. I'm not doubling. I'm adding to it, because each time you cut a seam, the fabric is going to get smaller. So when you do that, you have to put it back. So be mindful and put that amount back into the fabric. So you will press this out. You'll put interfacing all throughout this. If you want this dress to be big, 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 full, 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 you'll do all of that. And then if you want a lining in this dress, now if this was a wedding gown, of course, I would do a lining. But this is just a special occasion gown. Just something that I will wear to an outing. I wouldn't put a lining in this. Number one, the bottom of the, well, you know, we got a lining in the top of the corset. But number one, this fabric itself is already a heavier, thicker fabric. So I would just pretty much hem, you know, all of my raw edges and stuff. And when I put the, what is it on? I can't even think. When I put my, horsehair under the bottom and cut it even, because it'll be uneven sometime, and I would just do a hem, horsehair. This particular fabric, because it's so full and a thick fabric, I'm not going to put a lining in here. I'm not. So what I'm going to do is just decide how I want to do these pleats, how I want these pleats to be. Because once I secure that down, that's it. So that's what I got to work on, like how I want the pleats to be for the dress. Because once we take it into my waist size, that's going to be permanent. So I hope that helped you guys a lot. I'm trying to get better with explaining, and I saw a comment where somebody was like, I'm doing real good at explaining it, and I'm making it easy. I'm glad that I'm able to do that. So to make this dress, and this is on the big roll, where next time I'm in a fabric store, I'm going to take a picture and show y'all. This is not that 1 yard where you do that 36 by 56 or that 36 by 60. This one is at 36 by 100 and something on the roll. So when they cut it, they give you 36 inches, but you get that full width with this fabric. That's why I like going to this fabric house, because they don't cut that 36 where you get a 36 by 56 or 60, that 36 by 60. No, when they cut this, you're going to get that 36 inches. And if this is 120 or whatever, you get it all going that way. That's why I like going to this fabric store, because I like to get the fabric off those long rolls, and they allow you to cut it themselves, but they don't cut like the 36 by 60, how they go in a fabric store and they cut it, and you get to cut it yourself. Anything under 4 yards, you get to cut this yourself. They more expensive fabrics, they cut them, but it's a warehouse. Biggest Sam Club with all kinds of fabric in there. All kinds and kinds and kinds of fabric. So now it's just me perfecting how I want the pleats to be. And once I get that perfected on how I want it to be, I will sew this down and make the pleats be permanent. And then I will start connecting the bias piece to the skirt. And then from there, I will cut the skirt evenly, because, you know, you're going to have some uneven layers into the skirt. I will cut that evenly. I'll measure out for my zipper. So you see I got the zipper. I left the seam allowance for the zipper. So, yeah. So it's just a matter of me now just pleating it the correct way. And remember how we talk about lining all of our seams up, because where the zipper is going to stop, you want to line it right up where the corset ties. Okay. So, and then of course this dress will be pressed and the pleats will really be in there really good. So I hope that I explain myself very well. And if you're making a wedding dress, right? If you're making this out of a wedding dress. So all of my panels are the same size, okay? But if I was making this into a wedding dress, then remember we got a total of 10 panels here. We got 10. So I would do 5 that'll be more push to here, and then the other 5 that'll be for the back, I will cut those longer, because you know, like a lot of times your wedding dresses and stuff, you want them to be longer. So when you're doing your train, so if you're gonna be making like a special occasion, like turn these into the wedding ballroom gown dresses, the panel that I used, I will create another one and I will make it longer than the other pieces, and depending on how long you want your train to be, you make it longer, and then you go from there. So with that being said, guys, I truly appreciate y'all allowing me to come on this platform and express myself and do my creative vision, and y'all allowing me to be myself. I know I get some slack here and there where a lot of times I'm not conscious about what I look like, because I be just on here and trying to, you know, do my stuff, and I wear clothes that I'm comfortable with. So I just get on here and pretty much that's what I be doing. So thank you guys for allowing me to express myself, to bring my vision alive, and y'all allowing me to do that. I am grateful that y'all allow me to do that. Thank y'all so much. So now I'm just gonna start pinning the pleats, and I will start attaching them. So my phone is ringing. So thanks for watching, guys. Toodles. Okay, y'all see how big these princess dresses is when I haven't start putting it together yet, the pleats and stuff, but you see, like, when it does, you know, when I put it together, this is how these princess, and this is with 10 of them, okay? This is with 10. So if you're doing a wedding, I wanted to have a total of 12. I wanted to, you know, because 6 make my waist, so I wanted to double it so I can have a lot of volume. And then you'll put that interface and then the boning and the crinoline. So, and then how I was telling you guys that when we get to the back of the dress, so all these panels is the same size. So if you want your wedding dress to be bigger, or your special occasion to have that train effect, all these is the same exact size. Then when you cut the other, you want to cut this bigger and you want to cut it longer so you can have that train effect, okay? So if you want to have the train effect, that's what you have to do. So I hope that I'm explaining myself very well. So now I'm going to start to sew my pleats together, and then at a later date, I connected that piece to the bias piece. But, you know, this is the stuff that I'm trying to specialize in, because to be honest, like, you can make some decent money on club wear. And like I told you, I went to school for dressmaking and pattern design, and everything I learned offline. So my hands-on stuff, in order to get active in this stuff, we really have to rub elbows, and this is really stuff that we got to do. So this is the type of stuff that I want to do, because I realize that what better way to work from home and don't have to do another job if you doing formal wear and special occasion. Y'all know how people is when they had them weddings and them special occasions and them birthdays. They be on it. And what better way for them to have a stylist, a person that they can work with, and they can get some really elite things. So this is the stuff that I'm specializing in with my downtime, because I start working on my mental health, guys. I've been through a lot. and I'm still grieving from my son. So mental health is real. So in the process of me working on my mental health journey, getting myself back healthy, I am working on this behind the scenes. This is the stuff that I'm doing. Yeah. So this is a total of 10, but I wanted to double it. So remember, my waist was 6. So I got 10 out of here. That fabric store didn't have any more. So when you're going to get this, so this was a total of, so the first one I got, remember I told y'all the yard is, the first one I wound up getting, I got 5 yards to complete the first part, you know, the dress. And then I went back to the fabric store to get those other 4 panels. I wound up, they had 2 yards left. So I wound up getting the rest of that. And that's that, okay? All right, guys. So you guys have an awesome day. And thanks for allowing me to express myself and feel like a penguin. Thank you, guys. Toodles. Hi, guys. So I was working away. Well, I thought I was, okay? So I had started pleating this skirt and everything. And these is with 10 panels. And I'm telling y'all, I'm working away. And I was under the impression that I was recording. And the reality is I was not recording. So all of that, and to realize that I was never recording. Ain't that something? So I had started pleating the fabric. So this is with 10 panels. But I wanted it with 6, but the fabric store didn't have any more of the fabric. So I was doing the pleats and kind of showing y'all and recording. Thought I was recording everything and realized when I just went back to play the tape, it was never recording. It never recorded. So that was a bummer. So yeah, I'm just sitting here now, just putting this together and looking at my pleats and stuff like that, pleating it together. But I'm just shocked, like, wow. You're not doing anything. You never had the camera going. Wow. That's a bummer. So you're working with a lot of this fabric. Oh, it's a lot of fabric. Gathering it together, and we keep coming up. Yeah. And it's harder to pin stuff into these mannequins because you got to do it at a side angle. You got to do it at a side angle. The pins got to go in from a side angle to stay. So, yeah, I was like, oh my goodness. So I wasn't pinning nothing in here. So, yeah. So, yes, know exactly where you want your stuff to line up at and give yourself your marking. So when you go to put this together, you put it together right. Because the last thing you want to do is go to put this together and it is not put together right. So I'm trying to make sure I get it to where that I would want it. And I mark on the fabric. So when I take it off of here and line it up with this corset, and when I get ready to attach it, I got to make sure that I get it attached how I want it. So that's what I'm doing. I did all that and thought I was recording for y'all, and I was not. So I'm looking at the front of the dress. I'm trying to make sure I got everything even. So I'm looking for these 2 side seams. And I want to make sure that I get these 2 main pleats to kind of be right there. So, It's just a matter of putting it all together and putting it all together the right way. And with this skirt, the heaviness and the fullness, I'm not going to put a lining in the bottom of the skirt. So when I'm getting it, I want to make sure that I get it and I line it up with the last of the pleats and have that zipper allowance. So it needs to stop. So yeah, everything got to be right, because you sew it on here and it'll start looking weird. So you got to know how you want it. So I want that like that. And this is zipper. You go right here. Okay. Right up in the buttocks. This pleat needs to go right here. So make sure you get everything right. And then I'm going to mark it. So this is my zipper allowance. And yes, I left more room. It's bigger than what I need. So get that zipper allowance on there. So then I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to do all of my marking so I know where is my connecting pieces. So this is important when you're connecting your stuff. You don't want your stuff to be off. Okay, so this is this pleat. It's going to go right here, right there. This one going to go right here, right there. Because when I take it off, I need everything to go the way I need it to go. So, okay. So, I think I'm getting it pretty well. I can look for it now with attaching it to the bottom of the dress, and then I'll start cutting it in the bottom and worry about the zipper and stuff tomorrow. But I'm starting to line the bias piece up with the skirt, and these is 10 panels. I didn't, the fabric store was out of this fabric. I couldn't get the 12, so it's only 10. But I think it's full enough. All right, toodles, what you want? Okay, guys. So now when I'm pinning all this, I'm pinning this right sides together, okay? So the reason why I wrote the markings on the fabric, what do you want? What do you want? I don't want you in this video. Bless you. So that's why I did the markings, so that I can know exactly where to line this up at. And then I do them right sides together. So then I'll go to the sewing machine. You're going to get 2 whoopings. Why are you so dang on spoiled? What do you want? You want a dress? You're going to get in my face. So I did my marking so I know how to line it up so that I can get the pleats that I want in the front. So please pay attention when you're doing that, so that when you go to sew this together, you will have all of your stuff in the right place, okay? So now I'm going to go in there and I'm going to attach the skirt to the dress. All right.